So, if we zoom in and take a closer look at the actual build itself, you can see we've got the little keypad here and everything, which the flowers kind of actually sort of, cover that, which I think you can just kind of pop these off in some form. The way they're built, you can just pop them off. Pop that extra flower off there on that side, and then do the same in some way, shape, or form on that side, just so you can actually see the whole keypad and everything, which it looks pretty good. You got like each of the little buttons and everything, got the space bar, which actually kind of moves in some form. I think it's just the way it's layered up. Then you got these two bits on the side as well, which looks pretty cool. Obviously the typewriter itself is done in this nice pink color, which if we zoom out you can kind of see the whole design. Get this little bit, these little like knob pieces on the side. Not really quite sure what they're for. I'm not the biggest nerd when it comes to typewriters, or the biggest brain when it comes to them. But you see we have the little like slidey piece here as well, which there's a lever here that like lifts it up. Then there's like a rolly bit of the back as well, which it might be for like moving the paper through or something. I'm honestly not quite sure. But it's like, I think you like tip tap and it kind of like brings it across or goes across that way. And then you just like slap it across for the next thing, which is pretty cool. For this whole back section, you can see it says Once Upon a Time as like the start to the story that's being typed out or whatever, which if we come around to the back, you can see how this mechanism is put on. There's a bit of like a slider on the back, which just holds that all together. And then here, there's like a big Technic bar sort of built here, and this just kind of flops around. And then the little Technic piece here as well, which honestly looks pretty cool. On the back, you can see the bit of grey used and whatnot. And on the bottom, it's pretty cool construction. The reason I'm not quite as notified on this actual build is because I did not build it. This is not actually my set to take a look at, so that's why I'm being an extra bit careful with it, though I'm half dismantled it. But to take a look at the flowers, you can see here's one of them, which has got this nice like R2D2 head here done in white. We'll zoom in to actually take a look at it maybe a little bit better. But you can see we've got the little R2D2 head, got this nice little flower piece here, which I think was the bottom to some of the aliens in the LEGO space stuff that I've taken a look at as well. I've only done it in like that orange yellow. We got the yellow petals, and then we got the typical like big leaf piece, which honestly looks pretty cool. And I think, what way was that sitting? It was kind of sitting along like that, along the front of it, which honestly doesn't look half bad. Then on the other side we have this flower, which looks pretty cool. If I just kind of plop the other petal back on it, or a little bit of leaf, you can see this one looks very cool. It's like you've got the 4 petals to it with the nice shades of blue and the yellow in the middle. It's pretty cool how that looks to be put together as well, that the petals are actually being held on by this yellow like piece in the middle. Like this bit kind of holds everything together, which looks pretty cool. Nice bit of design obviously from the bottom. You can see that as well. And then if we tilt up a little bit, if I can, without knocking anything over, I don't think I'm able to, unfortunately, with the extra weight with my light. Kind of, you can see the purple like stem flowers here, which look really, really nice as well. This one, these 2 bits are held in with like Technic pins and stuff, when this bigger one is actually held in with a lightsaber blade, which I think is pretty cool. Which is, somewhat connected to the actual like build thing here, as I showed before. So you can see it kind of jumping up and down, which is very, very interesting, to say the least. But yeah, obviously if we plop this back on in some form, hopefully in one go. Maybe not. Yeah, if we kind of just go and plop this player back on so you can see the whole build by itself again. There we go. And yeah, honestly, very, very cool. I really like the look of this. Whether or not it would have actually been the one that I would have built out of the 3, I'm not quite sure. The key tower does look pretty cool, and the little potted plant does also look very cool. But for $24.99, I don't think it's one of those ones that I would personally pick up like all of them to build them, as much as I love this, build itself. Though, you never know. If they're down in price for like maybe 10-15 quid each, it might be worth spending like £30 to £45 in all 3 if you like the builds. But yeah. I suppose for comparison, we have my Ahsoka Tano minifigure from the Plo Koon video, which here you have her. And for a bit of a more me comparison, here we have the Kick Sauber car from my Lego F1 series as well, just to kind of set there. You can see it's a significant size for what it is. For a very, very different thing, just because it's sitting here. We also have the Ford Anglia from Harry Potter as well, which you actually kind of scooch this over this way a wee bit. You can kind of see the size difference between a few different things here, which I think is actually kind of entertaining, the fact of the variety of stuff that I actually just have lying about on my desk to use as a size comparison, which this as a photo itself would be very interesting to see. But yeah, overall though, that is going to do it for this video. As I said, it is a very different one, mainly on the fact that, again, it's not my set, I didn't have the box to show, and I don't really know much about the set. I could have probably googled it and learned a little bit, but that would just be simple, and why would I make my life any simpler than it already is? Oh, you know, why would I make it any simpler? You know, that would just be simple. I don't know. But yeah, it is what it is. If you guys like it though, let me know in the comments, and if you want to see more of the new, like these little sets that I wouldn't personally pick up, I'm sure there's a few more that I could take a look at as well throughout the next weeks. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys soon with something else. Goodbye.